CTV News at 5 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Marina is off this week. Sault Ste. Marie Security Company is calling on both upper levels of government after multiple assaults at local security officers in the last month. As CTV's Corey Nordstrom tells us, national officials say this has become a silent epidemic among the industry.
Daniel Laprade has worked security for over 2 decades. The founder of the Sault's Casey Security says things have changed in recent years, becoming much more dangerous for him and his staff.
We had an incident happen earlier in July where a guard was injured by removing somebody from one of our sites just for trespassing, a routine thing, right? So we have to remove them from the store. And that person turned around, punched him in the face, assaulted him.
Officials of the Canadian Association of Security Professionals say the industry has grown in recent years, and so have attacks against their personnel.
For every worker that is assaulted, 5 security guards are assaulted and 10 police officers are assaulted.
Laprade says security guards are allowed to defend themselves, including use of force. But he says the training and regulations to educate security personnel is lacking in this area.
In Ontario, basic security training is only 40 hours, and you can do it all online now. And you have to have your basic first aid. That's your minimum requirements. Now, if you want to have a baton and handcuffs and use tools like that, you have to go through use of force training. But another issue we have here in Ontario is there's no provincially regulated use of force course.
Jensen adds that numerous provinces are in the process of modernizing their training, though it can't come soon enough for the safety of security professionals and the public.
People are just, are not as patient, not as forgiving, and so they just escalate to violence much more quicker. And security guards, in my opinion, don't have the training to handle that.
Though the number of incidents involving harm done to security guards is on the rise, there is no regulated reporting system. Officials believe that the amount of assaults against these workers could be exponentially higher than the figures currently out there. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Time for our first check on weather. For more details, we go to CTV's Tony Rima.
Thanks for that, Ian, and good evening, everyone. A mix of sun and cloud in Sault Ste. Marie, as you saw in Corey's report. And that's the case right across the broadcast region. Your first weather is brought to you by CAA. Get your membership by going to getcaa.ca. And as we hit the clicker, well, things are going to become a little more unsettled, especially in through this evening for Sault Ste. Marie, Chapleau, Kapuskasing, along with Moosonee. And tomorrow morning in through Sault Ste. Marie, things are going to get a little unsettled. Sudbury, along with North Bay, you're also going to see some showers. More weather details later in the show. Ian.
Thanks, Tony. A 29-year-old is facing charges of assaulting a peace officer after an incident at Algoma Remand. It happened Tuesday morning just before 10 a.m. Police say the accused threw a cup of toilet water and urine at 2 of the facility's employees. He was charged with 2 counts of assault and failing to comply, only to reportedly do it again later that afternoon around 4:45. He's now facing multiple charges and is continuing to be held at remand. Some residents of a Sudbury apartment building have submitted a petition to management expressing concerns about cockroaches. They want the entire building included in an extermination program instead of unit-by-unit treatments. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
Miranda Thornton says she is preparing her apartment for another treatment to get rid of cockroaches. She says it's a problem she has been dealing with since moving in. She showed us sticky traps she has set.
Well, there's been an ongoing cockroach infestation for over 5 years. It's got significantly worse in the past, 2 months. They sprayed on July 6th, just my unit. The problem is that they're not spraying the entire building.
She also shared a picture of her teen son who was sleeping in a mosquito net tent.
It's just been very stressful. It's hard to sleep. You're afraid that cockroaches are crawling on you. My son's sleeping in a tent, so actually now he's at my mom's. He had to get completely out of here.
Thornton says she's contacted the city and public health. In a statement, public health says provincial underfunding has forced the health unit to focus on certain services, adding in part, as a result, in communities with local government, public health no longer directly responds to complaints about rodent or insect infestations. These concerns are typically addressed through local bylaws. In a statement, the city says in part, if a resident is experiencing an insect or rodent infestation, Bylaw Services will investigate the complaint and may issue an order requiring the property owner to remedy the situation. If a property owner fails to comply with an order, the city can take enforcement action in accordance with the Property Standards Bylaw. We reached out to Whitehall Apartments and received this response from its legal representative. Presently, the landlord has a legal matter pending with Ms. Thornton. Therefore, it is not appropriate for the landlord to comment. Thornton says that legal issue is a Human Rights Tribunal application she filed over an unrelated issue. She has also filed a petition with management of Whitehall Apartments to treat the entire 2 buildings on Pine Street, signed by some tenants and guests of the apartments.
A lot of people wouldn't sign the petition because they're afraid of retaliation or eviction, so it's not really reflective of the actual amount of units affected since so many wouldn't sign it.
Saying she can't take it anymore, Miranda is now going to stay with her father in Parry Sound. Elena Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The North Bay Regional Health Center has issued a wait time alert for the emergency department. In a release, the hospital says wait times in Emerge could be more than 10 hours for non-urgent cases. The hospital is redirecting non-urgent patients to local walk-in clinics and primary care doctors. Despite the hospital's recruitment efforts, it says continued physician staffing challenges in the emergency department are a factor. Off the heels of the International Test Pilot School relocating its tactical training center to North Bay, another flight school is setting up shop at the Jack Garland Airport. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
North Bay's Jack Garland Airport is quickly becoming a hub for pilot training.
It's going to be something very positive.
Cygnet Aviation Academy, which uses a modern fleet of Diamond aircraft and advanced flight simulation technology to get their pilots ready for the sky, is planning a North Bay expansion in the next few weeks.
At the moment, we're partnered with Jazz and Porter. We also have what we call our free agent program, which is students who have decided that they will come to train with us without being pre-selected, and then we'll look for opportunities elsewhere in the industry.
The flight training school trains students with little to no prior flying experience to become airline-ready first officers.
We have somewhere in the range of 45 to 50 trainees happening at all times. We take in cohorts in January, May, and August each year, so it's a continuous process. The integrated program that we deliver lasts for 20 months.
Citing the city's military, commercial aviation routes, and the presence of its sister company, Voyager Aviation, Cygnet feels this is the appropriate next step in its journey.
While we've been building our business, we are bringing our aircraft up to our sister company, Voyager Aviation in North Bay. So we've spent a lot of time around the North Bay Airport.
The airport says the move will open new opportunities within the city, writing, their decision and announcement demonstrate that YYB North Bay Airport continues to be where businesses are able to expand their operations and successfully grow. It's why we're excited they've decided to join others here already, augmenting existing local strengths and operations. Those existing strengths and operations include the International Test Pilot School, which opened its doors in July, training NATO and allied fighter jet pilots. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Tony has our full weather forecast. For now, let's go to a live shot of North Bay and beautiful Worthing Street. Looking great there downtown. This shot courtesy of the city, and I'm sure it's no doubt going to be full of festivals and markets over the coming days. Tony will have more on the type of weather we can expect. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
All right, folks, here's your main weather. As we take a look at our forecast radar, it's rather clear in through our broadcast region, but things are going to get a lot more overcast, especially overnight in through Sault Ste. Marie. And then tomorrow morning, you'll start to see some of those showers along with unsettled conditions. And there's going to be rain and risk of thunderstorms too. In through Sault Ste. Marie, this is the temperature right now. Add the humidity and it'll feel closer to 30 degrees for parts of our broadcast region. Overnight lows not all that bad, so we're coming down temperature-wise. And over the next few days, things are going to be, well, a little cooler. Here's your 5-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury, Cobalt tomorrow, while sun, cloud, and shower activity, and a risk of a thunderstorm or two. 23 degrees, same temperature for the next few days. But the trend, as you can see, wet weather indeed. Tuesday, we get a little bit of clearing, but Wednesday, more showers, 22. By the way, should be 24 degrees as a daytime high right across the broadcast region. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma tomorrow, 30% chance of rain. Temperature a little cooler than normal. Some sunny breaks in through Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, expect those showers to stick around. And Wednesday, well, sun, cloud, and a possibility of rain. In through Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing, very unsettled here. 23 degrees, risk of thunderstorms, more rain in through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and in fact, Wednesday, 21, when it should be about 24 this time of year. For Temiskaming Shores of Kirk Lake, again, it's going to be a stormy and wet Saturday, 22 degrees, 23 on the board for the next 3 days after that. Wednesday, still some showers, 22. And finally, your 5-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing. Overcast conditions, and you know what? For good measure, there's a risk of thunderstorms. Spot on temperature-wise, though, 24 degrees. Temperature drops ever so slightly, and we start to see a little clearing in through Sunday. Monday, while the showers are going to persist, and Tuesday, well, 30% chance of rain and a mix of sun and cloud. Wednesday, take a look at that. 23 degrees when it should be 24, but a 30% chance of rain. A wet weekend ahead. Ian, it's back over to you.
Looks like we all got to get some umbrellas ready. Thanks, Tony. Well, mining giant Glencore announced its second quarter earnings this week, and the international mining company is seeing a boost in revenue. The company announced its pre-tax revenue were up 86% in the first half of the year. That translates into a net income of $4.4 billion US, compared to a loss of $600 million during the same period last year. Glencore CEO Gary Nagle said in a press release the conflict in the Middle East may have caused market instability, but the company began the year with a well-supplied energy complex and was able to capitalize early on. Meantime, the federal government has announced another opportunity to help support the city will get another chance to help support the industry in Sault Ste. Marie. That from some around the council table, including the city's mayor pushing for support of a resolution about defense procurements. Specifically, the resolution to take to the federal government supporting Rochelle Algoma Defense Solutions in constructing light armored vehicles in the Sioux with Algoma steel. There is another bid in the mix. That resolution will come before council Monday night. Nawsum University is in need of a few volunteers, 200 or so, to play patience to help their students learn at both the Sudbury and Thunder Bay campuses.
These would be like coming in to see your regular healthcare provider. So families will be asked questions about the pregnancy, delivery, the child's milestones, and then a good portion of the session is made up of the physical exam, which will be guided by a family physician or a pediatrician, and small groups of learners of about 4, max 5 learners in the group.
Many of their programs are full at this point, but they're still searching for families with newborns for their sessions on September 22nd. Nawsum says patients will be helping future doctors learn, but one big requirement is that the child needs to be in good health, as the students are still in their early education and need a good baseline understanding. The university's been doing these sessions since 2005 and says the community is a major support for these programs. A big donation today for the work being done at the Cobalt Historical Society. Lifelong resident Gino Chitteroni presented a check to the group for $5,000. The donation was made in memory of Albert Chitteroni, who was reportedly an ardent supporter of the town's mining heritage. The money will go towards the restoration of the pan silver headframe. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a firefighting tradition in the Sudbury community of Lively takes center stage yesterday. Plus, one little girl's idea on how to make her local park a little more colorful. A firefighting tradition took center stage in Lively last night as Greater Sudbury Fire Services welcomed a brand new engine to the fleet. Crews gathered at Station 6 for a traditional push-in ceremony, manually rolling the new apparatus into the bay. Firefighters say the truck brings advanced capabilities and modern safety features to better serve the area.
Well, this is fantastic. It's an investment unlike we've seen in years. Our other engine was getting a bit aged. So this has like the latest technology, even things like touch panels to control water and pressures and all these things, like modern technologies that keep us safe. And so the crew is very excited, as you can see.
England adds a new truck has been in the making for at least 15 years. An 8-year-old in Chelmsford has put up a Trinket trade box at Berthiaume Playground in Sudbury for all to enjoy.
You want to look at the Trinket box? Sure.
LaMarche and her mother saw the concept on social media, found some in town, but wanted to bring the idea to their community as well. So far, the family says it's been a hit, and trinkets have already been swapped.
I've got a box and stickers to put it up, and now we have the box to let people trade, that they can do whatever they want in it and just to like put stuff back in.
It's only the second day and it's been pretty busy, so she's enjoyed seeing all the kids like come and go, and I think it's been a great thing for the community.
The idea with the Trinket trade box is to share toys with the community. The trade box is overflowing with items like stress balls, stickers, and even bracelets handmade by 8-year-old Morgan. A new play on stage in Sudbury is looking at homelessness through a new lens. Local playwright Sarah Garchor wrote City Medicine in collaboration with people experiencing homelessness and those who support the unhoused population. It aims to give a new perspective on what that experience is like while also shedding light on the toxic drug supply in the city.
Leave City Medicine, they're not going to feel more angry than they already do at what is happening. They're not going to feel more sad than they already do at what is happening.
I also think that it's going to really resonate with them because they're going to see that it touches everybody, not just one walk of life. It's all walks of life. And I think it's also going to possibly, with hopes, bring the community together.
City Medicine is on stage now at the Refectoria until August 29th. For the last time, the Snowbirds will fly the iconic 1960s-era Canadian-made planes over the Fraser Valley in BC. The team is performing at the Abbotsford Air Show. CTV's Martin McMahon reports.
From the sounds of roaring engines to the seemingly superhuman skill of the pilots, you never forget your first time watching the Snowbirds.
With the Tudor and the Snowbirds having been traveling around inspiring Canadians for 55 years, Abbotsford's the spot where for me I first had that light go on, and now it's very special to be on the other side of that.
But getting that experience of watching Canada's military aerobatic team is a limited time offer, with the Snowbirds set to be grounded in October until the 2030s, not long after this appearance at the Abbotsford International Air Show. The military is replacing the iconic but aging CT-114 Tudor with a newer jet.
Because it's a little bit slower and has a tighter turning radius than, say, the Blue Angels or the Thunderbird south of the border, it's just a different kind of show where we get to be able to turn tighter in front of the crowd, stay in front of the crowd a lot, and perform a lot of formation changes in loops and rolls. So that's something that I think is really unique about it.
The significance of this farewell tour not lost on crew and pilots, including Major Steve Tim, who grew up in Surrey.
It's a very special year, and I consider myself really fortunate to get to be a part of it.
The Abbotsford International Air Show has been a part of the Snowbird story from the beginning, and so it's a fitting stop on this farewell tour.
The Snowbirds debuted here at Canada's National Air Show in 1971. They are one of Canada's most recognizable symbols and one that has had a deep impact on our community over the last 55 years.
The Abbotsford Air Show will run from Friday to Sunday. And even when this final tour for this aircraft is complete, the Snowbirds will fly again, but never like this. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Abbotsford.
When we return, we'll take a look at your community close up. You're watching First at 5. Time now for a look at our community close-up, and for that we begin in Astorville with an incredible picture. And that picture comes from Sue Shearer, who managed to catch what appears to be a dad feeding his little ones at the bird feeder. She tells us it was wonderful to watch. Such an attentive parent, I would say. It is wonderful you managed to even capture this. Well done, and thanks for sharing, Sue. Norm Bolduc had a glorious start to his Friday by the looks of it. This was the shores of Porcupine Lake, and what a way to wake up. I would never get tired of a scene like this one. Thanks for sending it our way, Norm. Finally, take a look at this, and what a big bird. I don't even know what that is. Thankfully, I don't have to look it up because Susan Mackin did. She and her friends spotted it near the tail racings near the locks on the St. Mary's River in Sault Ste. Marie. She tells us it was a black-crowned night heron. Never heard of it, but I'm going to be watching for them now. Thanks, Susan. If you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. Finally for us, it looked like a wild time Wednesday night as Timmins came out to raise some food and funds for a great cause, and hear from one of its own favorite sons. Three-time Juno Award nominee Preston Pablo there singing his hit song Flowers Need Rain. Pablo, in conjunction with the City of Timmins, held a parking lot pop-up performance to raise money for the Anti-Hunger Coalition in Timmins. The performance was free with a donation. Pablo took to his social media last night to write a thank you to his hometown, saying in part, "Together we raised money and collected donations for our very own Anti-Hunger Coalition, Timmins, and sang songs together as the sun set beautifully over our home. My heart has never been so full." And we're hearing initial counts of monetary donations have put the evening at well above $3,000 raised, combined with a van full of food for Christmas baskets and food banks. Well done, Timmins, and well done, Preston. What a great time. There's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.